1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock. 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock.
Johnny Lamb Jones. Wide receiver. As a season ticket holder of the Jets, I'm going to fool Ken O'Brien of California Davis.
Obviously, the Jets know something that, the people up there don't.
Fullback. Hello. Roger Vick. Jeff Lageman.
Jets just don't understand the draft all about.
Blair Thomas, running back, Penn State. Johnny Mitchell. The New York Jets select tight end from Penn State, Kyle Brady. Vernon Golston.
Cleveland traded the 5th pick to the New York Jets. And with the 5th pick in the 2009 NFL Draft, New York Jets select Mark Sanchez.
D. Milner.
Dino Smith. Jets select quarterback Christian Hackenberg.
Sam Darnold.
The New York Jets select Zach Wilson.
Future Pro Bowler, Elijah Moore.
Michael Carter, running back.
You made it! Oh my God, that was on the wire. Dom C makes it in. What's happening, everybody? We are back. The 10 o'clock mock 2025 inaugural episode, if you will. I could not be more excited. I've been watching the previous streams, Ryan and Tigo from 8 to 9, and then Dom and Ryan from 9 to 10. And here we are from 10 to whenever. I am GreenBean. I am happy that you are here. And that little fella next to me is the one and only
Jermaine Johnson.
Jermaine Johnson, everybody. How did we get him? We just don't know. He called me. He called me on my phone. He got my number. He said, hey, can I hop on the 10 o'clock mock? I said, sure. And then this guy shows up, and I'm grateful. Dom C is in the house. Dom, how you doing, buddy? You all psyched up to finally really get into your bread and butter, bud?
Yeah, I've been so busy, man. I've been so busy and grateful that I get to talk to tons of people, whether it's through social media or different podcasts that I'm asked to do, different write-ins that I'm asked to contribute to. Like this is go time for me, man. But I will say, and I mean this wholeheartedly, there's no show better than the 10 o'clock mock. The 10 o'clock mock is where dreams happen.
Yeah. Well, you know what, Dom? I appreciate you saying that. And you used to.
I mean it wholeheartedly. I
know you do. Yeah, that's the great thing about it, is that it's not just, lip service. Like this was a show that you used to watch. Remember, I used to have. I did it solo.
Yeah.
And then I had Jets by Jimmy with me for a little while, and maybe Frankie was on here, maybe. And then we came back around, and you and I, we did it all last year together.
Yeah. And
now we're doing it again this year. And now the truth is that I like this one too, because the reason that I made it in the first place, look, lots of mock simulators have come out in the past number of years, and there's a lot more data, a lot more people are into it. But when I started it 5 years ago, not to say people didn't know stuff, but there really was a lot more kind of education that you could, a lot of people were like, well, why wouldn't you take that guy at 7? Just little things like that. And I like to be able to get into it. And number one, talk about things like value and all that kind of shit, that when you look at the draft, it's not as easy or as simple as just taking a guy, which is that's what we've seen, guys like Mike McCagnon or whoever, they just take a guy. It's like, well, what are you doing? It doesn't make any sense. You could have got him later, and you get all that kind of shit. But the other thing is that what I really like about the whole idea behind the 10 o'clock mock, everybody, is that every week we change the theme. Right. And the reason that we do that is specifically to force ourselves to look at the draft through different angles. What happens if we do this? Or how does the draft unfold if we take this approach, and so forth? And this year is really exciting, everybody, because Ryan was talking about it on the previous show. But what we're doing, we do the Twitter poll. We're going to put the Twitter poll out on Friday every week. And we have a couple options for the theme. And I get all kinds of DMs. Hey, Bean, you ever think about doing this? Why don't we try this? And the truth is I take a lot of those ideas. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's great. So I throw it in the poll. You guys vote on it. The one that wins is the theme for that week. And then in here, you guys make the picks. That's what's so cool about this one, in my opinion, is that we get to see you guys make all the picks and still tell us that we suck. And I like that.
It couldn't have been said any better. I was going to add that too, is that you guys control it. In the first 2 rounds, everyone's voting and there's 10,000 votes. And by round 6, it's like 14 votes.
Yep.
And then you say, oh, this draft freaking sucks. Well, guess what? Complain to a wall, man, because you guys are the ones who were choosing it.
Yeah. So Bearded's checking in first. What's up, Bearded? One of my good buddies. We did a mock draft, solo private mock draft in the Beanbaggers Discord a couple of weeks back. Bearded was there. Jihad Campbell and Jamari Caldwell. Let's go, dude. You're speaking my language, buddy. As a matter of fact, you guys use the Pro Football Focus. Like Tigo and Ryan used that one, and you guys. So we're going to use the old one. We're going to, not old, but we're going to use the original. And we're going to go and use a different sim. And I like all the different rating systems. We'll bring in Draft Buzz throughout this whole draft season. We're going to try lots of fun stuff. And again, guys, the whole purpose here is to educate ourselves, to learn how to look at things, to, force ourselves to see the draft through different angles. Because look, not every GM is rating, players the same. We say, oh, that guy will never be here. Every single year, there are guys that slip. There are guys that are drafted around ahead of when you think they're going to get drafted. So I like to kind of switch it up and do different things and everything. So it's going to be really fun. But let me just show you real quick, Dom. I did like a couple pre-drafts to get myself to lube my gears. Let me show you what I just pulled together quickly. So I traded back. I decided to do, lots of guys like Rusty Spooner. They're saying trade out of the first, trade out. So I said, let me see what that looks like. And I ended up having no first round pick, and I picked up, look at this, a second, third, sixth, seventh. But look at the players I was able to get, even just starting at pick 42. Xavier Watts, Campbell, like Bearded's talking about. Savion Williams is this week my wide receiver crush.
And you know what? You know why?
Because he's a physical guy, fights for every yard, and that's my kind of receiver.
You know why? I'm going to tell you why. You know who his pro comp is? I mean this wholeheartedly, and I hope he has a better career than him.
Laviska Shenault.
Denzel Mims.
Fuck yeah. All right. We're taking another swing at Mimsy, baby.
Size, speed, everything.
Yeah.
Everything smells like Denzel Mims.
Yeah.
Savion Williams.
So I love Savion Williams. Again, he's my crush of the week. I always have those guys. Mason Taylor, who is the son of Jason Taylor, everybody. Yeah. If you didn't know, I'm really digging him. I think, if he does get with a tight end coach that can develop him a little bit, I think he's got real tight end one potential. Ozzie Trapillo, we kind of all love him at the Jalen Reed, who I took over my boy from UVA, by the way. They were right there next to me. Yep.
Yeah. They're different. They're different kind of players. Like Jalen Reed's a lot more physical. He's more of your typical box safety, which is fine. Because you know what? Right now,
I got Watts.
Yeah. Well, you got Watts, but even more so, taking this draft away, you know what the Jets have in safety room right now?
Nothing.
Squadooch, they call it.
Squadooch.
They call it back in my neck of the woods. Yeah.
Well, you see what I did there. I got Notre Dame and Penn State safeties. Ain't nothing wrong with that. And then just quickly, like Bearded saying, the reason I brought this up, I got Campbell, I got Jamari Caldwell, I took Kyle McCord, Borregales. I'm taking a kicker if I'm in control of the draft. And then I got to tell you, man, late round swing on Stackhouse would make me elated, Dom.
Yeah, he's a big guy. Never really he's one of those guys that the ceiling and the potential is there. He just hasn't been able to put it together yet, but that's okay because there's guys like that all the time where they develop late mentally, physically, like you get a puppy, and when you get a puppy and it's got those huge paws and it's trying to learn how to use those things and walk properly.
That's right.
That's
and at pick 209, that's where you want that puppy. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Big, strong guy. Ron Weiss checking in. Dom, I meant Rutgers D and Aaron Lewis. So that probably from the previous stream. You guys are just continuing the conversation. I love it, Ron.
He said, are you, he said, are you, now I get it, Rutgers University, Aaron Lewis. And I was like,
are you? Oh, I get it.
So he pulled up, Ryan pulled up a picture of some musician named Aaron Lewis who I didn't know. And I said, yeah, I guess I could be him. I don't know.
Yeah, so, all right, thanks, Ron. Swamp Ranger checking in real quick. The original Monday Night Mock is back. I want 1,000 pounds of man added to the D-line between two guys. You're speaking my language, Swamp Thing. Get me a monster on the O-line as well. Yeah, I know, and I look, there's a lot of work for me still to do in a lot of these positional groups. But, yeah, I think that you can do pretty well in the 3rd to 5th round on the offensive and defensive line in this particular draft. So I'm excited about it. Money Mitch checking in. Thank you, buddy. He says, what position do you think we'll address with our first pick? By the way, I agree with Dom. Some of, if not the best Jets content on the web. Thanks. Well, thank you, Money Mitch. And we sincerely appreciate that. Dom, quickly, what do you think we will address? You think we're going BPA? You think we're targeting? You think we're trading up? If you had to take a swing today.
If I had to take a swing today, and I know this is not going to be liked very much by the chat probably. If I had to guess, and I'm being honest, I don't know what Muji's, real MO is. And I don't know, how he feels. Like, after a while, we knew what Joe Douglas was going to be like. He was going to go for the RAS score guys early. He was going to go for positional, like he really took positions into effect. He didn't take those odd positions early in the round, like he spent them on prime positions. I have no idea what Muji's going to do. If I had to guess, I'm going to say that this is a draft full of high floor, low ceiling players. So it's very safe draft. Yes, I think that
high ceiling, low floor.
No.
High floor, low. Oh, I don't like low ceiling.
Yeah,
but I hear you. But I do. I
think they're going to swing for singles and doubles instead.
Yeah, you're right. That perfectly said.
Because they're going to need. We just see. I mean, it's Swiss cheese in terms of depth. So, I'm thinking that they think that this team isn't contending this year. So let's build the foundation. Let's put some good brick and mortars in place, and with that, you're gonna swing for the singles and the doubles.
Yeah. And that, look, filling out the roster with like those solid pieces, not big money guys, and just kind of feel like defensive tackles, depth on the offensive line, your tight end too, safeties and it's not the worst plan in the world, man. Honestly, especially with this draft, which is packed full of them. There's not that many high end. There's not that many high end. The top of the draft isn't as robust as it has been in recent years. Yes. Yeah, it's not the year to trade up, man. I know it would be exciting for 5 minutes, but I don't know. It's not the year to do it. I'm really hoping that that's all smoke screen. But with that all said, let me just tell you, we got a sponsor for this show. It's Chubby's. We'll get into the actual ad read later. But Chubby's, you guys know that we love Chubby's. So I'm really happy that they're back. And we'll talk about them in detail, but I wanted to let you know they are sponsoring the channel. You want to bypass the ad and just click the link and save 20%. It's right in the description of this video, and we'll talk a little bit about Chubby's in just a little while. Now, the rules, Tom. Are you going to control the actual draft? Do you want to do that?
Now you want me to go to Pro Football Focus? Is that it?
Pro Football Network, PFN.
PFN. Okay.
That's the one I want to use today.
Yeah.
So obviously so here's how it goes, guys. If you've never been here before, and even if you have, it's good to do a little refresher because it's been a minute and I needed one. I'm like, Dom, I said, I don't even know what did we do? I don't even remember what the hell we did. So the way that we're going to do this, we'll pull up the sim and we're going to talk about different players and all that kind of stuff, but we're going to put a poll in the chat for you guys to vote on. All right. Now, we don't take any trade offers after the third round. We don't do it. It makes the show go to 1:30 in the morning if we do. So the third round is after the third round, we don't even entertain trades. This theme, though, like we talked about, the theme, the chosen theme by everybody who voted on the poll on Twitter is to trade back in the first. Okay, so we're only going to look at the trade offers that we receive, which we will, and we're going to talk about one of them. We'll put a poll in there. You guys vote on it, and that's the trade that we take. The same thing goes with the players. Dom and I, look, we only have 4 options, so we'll put a couple players, we'll see how the draft is going, and we'll put some options up there for you guys, and you guys vote on it. We'll give 3 minutes per poll, just so we can keep it moving. And that's how the draft goes. Comments and everything are great as well. Keep talking with each other and have a great time in here. This is fun. But again, guys, just because we're doing this week and the draft falls, the cool thing is to pay attention to what happens today, see what the theme is next week, and start to really zero in on what you want to happen. What you're, the way that the different ways to look at the draft. It's a fantastic process, but this show is really all draft season. It's one big show. That's what it really is. And then now we added the Talking Jets show and Ryan's show before that. So it's going to be 3 hours of mock drafting every single Monday night. I'm excited about it. So Dom, if you go there and share your screen,
sure.
Pick the Jets. 7 rounds. Do it at normal speed too, because fast we don't get to see kind of what's happening. It goes too fast.
All right, let's see if I can make that bigger.
I see Rusty Spooner's in here and Scott Foster, Eddie McGuire, Dakota's in the house. Look at all you infrareds here. You guys are the best. Robbie Oak. Look at all you guys. Isaac and
is that big enough to see? Can you see
Radigan's here? Yeah, it's perfect actually. That's very good.
Okay, let's do this.
All right, guys.
So I got the Jets. I got a normal. I got 7.
There you go. So here we go. Let's get the draft going, and we'll see where we sit at 7. Look, Sanders first, Cam Ward, Travis. That's exactly the way I think it's going to go. Oh, yeah. There goes Tet.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter. We're trading down anyway.
Yep.
Right. So here's option 1, guys. We're going to move all the way down to 22, which is interesting for the sake that we haven't really picked from that area yet. Ryan,
well, we have a couple of options, Dom. Don't forget about the next button. Yeah. So look, this one we give up 7 and 109. We receive
first like and a fourth.
Said, yeah, go ahead. You can break it down.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty simple. 1st and a 4th for a later first, but you add a 2nd and a 3rd, and then you get this little fluff for next year. Which, if we're not going quarterback in round 1 here, then you want as much fluff for next year as you can to kind of juice it up if you need to move up. So this is an interesting one from San Diego, from LA.
No,
I do it all the
time. Me too, man. I'm still doing that.
And then here's a similar trade. You're not going down as far. You're going down to Tampa. You're also getting a 2nd and a 3rd, but only a 2nd next year for the same 7 and 109. So they're saying, hey, you're not coming all the way down to 22. So we're not giving you the extra 3rd next year. And then the 3rd trade is we're going to bypass this one because me and Ryan just did the same exact deal.
Well, we can't do that. We can't do that. It's a whole different sim. It's a whole different group. It's a whole different thing.
So this one is you're only going down to 15, but you're getting a 2nd and a 4th next year. They're throwing you some juice there. So
we go over 8 picks.
Yeah, I'll go through it one more time. This one you're going from 7 to 22. We're getting a 2nd and a 3rd, and a 2nd and a 3rd in 25 and 26. We only have to give up 109 for it.
Yeah, it's a 4th. Right. Yep. We're giving up a 4th.
Tampa Bay, a 1st, 2nd, and a 3rd, and a 2nd next year for a 1st and a 4th. And then Atlanta, a 1st and a 2nd to go down 8 spots, and you get a 4th next year.
All right, the poll is up, everybody. Which trade are we taking? Remember, The dictates of the chosen theme is that we must trade back in the first at least once. Now, that doesn't mean that we won't do it again, but it means that we have to trade back with the 7th overall pick. So here we go. We got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers trade, we got the Atlanta trade, and the Chargers trade. I'll start the timer right now. We're going to give you guys 3 minutes. Please let your voices be heard, everybody. Yeah. That's the key to the whole system. If I could just find the timer. Here we go. We got a little bit more than 3 minutes because I'm an old man and I can't figure it out. So I got like 3:40.
Well, GreenBean, I'm curious. I'm not going to ask you which way you would go because I don't want you or I to influence the chat. But I'll say in a general way, knowing this draft to the extent that you do, I know it's not as thorough as some yet to this point, or only in February.
That's fair.
But are you opposed to trading down to the bottom half of the first round or even out of the first round? I know you played around with it before.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to it. But I mean, there's a lot of players that I like in the middle of the first round. So like for me, I'm very comfortable with 15, 19, 22. I'm comfortable there too, but I really got to take a look. Like there's guys like, look, Mason Graham's still there. Will Campbell's still there. Who, I don't think I'd really take him, but Malachi Starks is still there. Grant is still there. Who's the who's the wide receiver? Burden.
Luther Burden, yeah.
Luther Burden is still there. So I have enough players on the board for me that I'm very comfortable trading back, sliding back, in this case, 8 spots or 11, 12. So I'm totally comfortable doing that. So I still think I'm going to get the player that I want, or at least one of my tier. And still look, in this case, I get an extra second and I get a 4th next year. I'm totally fine with that. The other trades are a little bit further back, but you get a lot more capital out of it. So I'm actually really comfortable in this particular draft. There's no Joe Alt up there for me. You know what I mean?
There's no Malik Neighbors.
Right.
There's no Jaden Daniels. So, listen, I think if the board fell like it did here in this simulator right now, I think a lot of the fans, based on I don't want to sound funny. I'm not saying you guys don't know, but Mason Graham is a buzz name, right? And a lot of people have warmed to that because he's a hot topic right now. And I like Mason Graham. I'm not saying I don't, but when we talk about the Jets, I just don't know where the fit next to Quinnen is. You're already paying $25 million to Quinnen. For me, is that the best allocation of assets? I'm
with you. I completely agree. And you know how I feel about defensive tackles in the first, even to begin with. But listen, guys, we got like 20 seconds left. I got 79 or 81 votes out of 200 on YouTube. So get your votes in. Look, we got it. We got a bunch on Twitter too tonight. Hello to my Twitter people. We got 83 people on Twitter hanging out with us and 200 on YouTube. So there it is. Get your votes in. I'll give it a couple more seconds. 2, 3, 1. I don't know what that was, Dom. I'm ending the poll. Look at this. It's a slaughter. The Chargers. What a bold move to start the first ever 2025 10 o'clock mock, Dom. This is deep. So we're getting the 2nd and a 3rd in 25 and a 2nd and a 3rd in 26 to slide down to pick 22. How do you feel about that?
You know what I'm going to name this trade? I'm going to name this trade the Arch Manning Memorial Trade.
There you're right.
You're going to use all this capital to move up for quarterback next year. So
yeah, it feels
we're
like
accepting it. We're accepting, right?
Yep. So that's what we're doing. We're accepting it.
And here we go. And they traded up for Mason Graham, the Chargers.
There goes Graham, Starks, Pierce,
Will Johnson.
Jalen Walker. Yep. Look at him
Tyler Warren. See, he wouldn't have made 15 for all those that wanted Tyler Warren anyway. So
yeah.
Well,
here we go. So now let's entertain this, guys. We're sitting at pick 22. We saw guys like Tet and Warren and Starks and the like, Mason Graham. They've slipped off the board while we gained 2 seconds and 2/3. Do
Correct.
we want to slide? That's actually a second. So we're sliding out of the first in this one.
Yeah, we go
And
from
giving
20,
up a third.
we go from 22 to 34. So we slide back whatever that is. 12 picks from the first to the second, but we're sliding up from the bottom of the third all the way to the top of the third and gaining a second next year. Okay, that's one.
Yeah.
Cleveland.
Let me just say, hey, I'm glad you're here, Hennessy. Truly,
Yes,
you're
Hennessy, for
the
real.
best. And look at Oregon Jets. This is funny. Let me just save some time. This draft sucks. That's the best. Let me just get this one in. Swamp Ranger swap 109 for 146. We have 2/5. Well, we'll see how that goes. But here we are. We're up here in the first there, Swamp Ranger. Stick with us there, buddy.
Second offer is from Cleveland. We go back from 22 to 33. So that's the first pick of round 2. And then they said, hey, we'll give you our third rounder as well. Top of the third rounder. So
all right. So let me do the poll. I'm going to add no trade in this one.
Yep.
All right. So the first one was
the Giants. The first one was the Giants. 34-65 in a second.
Oh, and then the Brownies.
And then the Brownies. And then I didn't get to the third yet.
Oh, what's the third one? Tennessee.
Tennessee says, go back to 35 and we'll throw you a 4th round pick and a second next year.
All right. And then we'll add no trade. The poll is up, everybody. Get your votes in. I'm going to set our 3-minute timer as of right now. Remember, your voice cannot be heard if you don't vote. So that's the whole thing. Rusty Spooner wants to trade with Tennessee.
I'm looking at the value.
I got you, Swamp Ranger. I got you, buddy. It's hard. I got my brain's on a lot of things, buddy. You're gonna have to afford me some leniency tonight. What are you saying, Dom?
No, I was just looking through the trade offers, the trade packages. The Tennessee one, I mean, listen, by value, the Cleveland one's much better, except you don't get the pick next year. So that makes
let's see what the Giants one was again.
The Giants is you move down to the beginning of the second, but you move up all the way to the beginning of the third and get the second.
Yeah, but we're giving up 92 in this one. This is a bad deal. I mean, that second next year is valuable. And that would, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, no, that's not a bad deal, actually. But you got to think, how many picks do we just gained a second and a third in the previous trade. So we have some flexibility. I'm real curious if people want to stick and pick or if they're going to entertain the trade. I'm not looking yet.
I didn't look either. Although I know what I want to do, but I didn't look.
Sodak checking in. What's up, buddy? Aaron Lewis, quick thoughts on Colton Loveland?
Aaron Lewis, if you're talking about the guy from Rutgers, he's okay. He's a tweener. I don't think, I don't really know. I don't really have all that much intel on him. I know who he is. I didn't do a ton of research on him. Again, kind of like a tweener linebacker, outside linebacker, edge type. Colton Loveland, on the other hand, is he's the top 15 player for me on my board. He's right behind Tyler Warren. He's very, very close. Different types of tight end, but both very, very serviceable. I think
I haven't looked at him yet. I was bugging out on Arroyo, Taylor.
Yeah.
I was Ferguson. Who's the kid? There's another small school guy.
Harold Fanning.
That's exactly the guy. You're so smart, Dom C. I'll tell you. Dwayne Danger Zone, the great Dano, is saying scroll down. What's that mean? Scroll down a little bit. What is that?
Until I accept the trade, I can't. He wants to see who's on the board, but
I can't do
wants
that. To get ahead of it.
So, what was I going to say? Yeah. So in the last draft, while we're waiting, me and Ryan did target a second round tight end. We landed on Gunnar Helm, who I think is a guy that you're going to like once you get into him. Really, I think his floor. I told Ryan, I think his floor is Pat Fryermuth, but I think his ceiling is Trey McBride. He's going to be right in that type of player, and those are green bean guys right there.
Nice. Well, no trade has it, Dom. We're going to stick and pick, and it has it without question. We had 91 votes that time, a little better. So the voice of the people is heard. We are going to reject all these trades, and we're going to pick.
Yes.
So here we are. Let's take a look at what we got. As we know, guys, our needs, we have a wide receiver need.
Mhm.
We have tight end need. That's what it looks like anyway. Currently, all we have is Ruckert. So we have safety need. We have a potential linebacker need if Sherwood isn't re-signed. We definitely have defensive tackle needs, and we have cornerback need. So
we got every need. We got every need.
We got lots to do tonight. Lots to do. So we got some safeties there.
Yeah. Nick Amanwari's a good one. He's a big boy too. 6'3.5", 235 pounds. Not your typical safety. Think the body of Jeremy Chin. Think like that big bulking safety, but man, this guy can run. He can fly. He can flip his hips and he can cover. So that's Amanwari. Josh Simmons it would arguably be a top 5 pick in this draft class, probably. He's clearly, by talent alone, the best tackle. However, game 6, so in October, November of the season, he tore his patella tendon.
So he's injured.
He's coming off an injury. And I'm going to say this. I'm not trying to sway anyone. I don't see Aaron Glenn and Muji setting their sights on guys coming off injury. That's just not a good way to start.
No, I agree. And that's why it's sad to say it's why I don't like Johnson. We can't do D. Milliner again, man. We just can't start a regime with an injured first round pick. You just can't do it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Now, if he can run around in the combine and all right, if you can take a look. But all right, so we got a safety on the board.
Yeah, you got Colston Loveland here, who I think is great value here at a position of need and really has the upside to be the best tight end in this class. I know Tyler Warren's my highest graded guy, but I'm just saying 3 years from now, if Loveland was the best to come out of this class, I wouldn't be surprised.
All right, I'm going to throw Ty Williams up there for defensive tackle.
Yeah, he's a nice.
Yeah, he's my favorite. He's my favorite up top.
He's a big fatty.
Yeah, but he's smooth too, man. He's super strong, can penetrate. So anyway.
Yeah, so somebody
got one more position. So I got a safety, a tight end, a defensive tackle.
I like
the wide receivers.
Yeah, Emeka Buka is the highest rated one. Let's see, but I'll drill the wide receivers down here. Emeka Buka.
I like Isaiah Bond too.
Yeah, Ohio State. Trey Harris is who we took last.
Trey Harris. You want to put a Buka or Trey Harris?
At 22, I'd go Ibuka. Trey Harris might be a little bit of a stretch here.
Okay.
So I would go Ibuka. And listen, he's the best route runner in the class, and he's played with Garrett Wilson.
All right, here we go, guys. So the poll is up. We got a safety, a tight end, a defensive tackle, and a wide receiver. Again, with so many needs, it's really easy just to kind of spread it out. We don't have to focus this year. It's not like, we're going in here like we need a tackle. It's not really that way, even though we need one.
You can go a bunch of different ways, man. That's why this area is nice here. Because listen, GreenBean, honestly, of all those 4 selections that we threw up there, would you be upset with any of them?
Not one of them. I'd be happy with every single one of those guys.
Yeah.
Especially after that big trade back, getting an extra second and third and a second and third next year. I'm delighted.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
Now, me, Dom and I don't like to talk about who we'd pick. We want to try our best not to sway you guys any one way or the other, but I'm going to do it anyway this time. I'm excited, Dom. I think I'm. Yeah, you think I'm? Who am I taking? Talk to me.
You're taking the fatty. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind.
I don't like first round defensive tackles, but after all that, I have to say that I'm probably doing exactly that. I'm probably grabbing my boy Ty Williams out of Ohio State, and I'm just pairing him next to Quinnen Williams, and then I'll work on extra jiggle in the 6th. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll tell you who I did vote. I'll tell you who I voted for after the alarm goes off. Yeah,
so Imanwari, like we said, is a safety. Colson Loveland, tight end. Again, it's weird because I don't have an opinion on Loveland. I trust you. You're talking about Trey McBride upside.
I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this. I'll give you where I have them ranked in my grading system on my board. Well, actually, that might give it away. So let me not do that.
Do me a favor. Open up Ibuka real quick. Just hit the little notepad there next to the draft. Don't hit the draft button.
Here, boom.
So he's 6'1", 206 pounds. First or second round pick in our latest 3-round mock draft. Went 33rd overall. Ohio State wide receiver, boasts elite route running athleticism. You heard Dom C say he's the best route runner in the class. Field awareness, 2,600 career receiving yards, ranks 5th in Ohio State history, and is just 147 yards from surpassing Michael Jenkins as the program's all-time leader. Not bad. Do me a favor while we're waiting here. Oh,
what's that?
No, it's done. So we can't talk anymore. Hold on. Yeah, it's just not loud. All right, I'm ending the poll. This one was close, Tom, but it's going to be Ibuka, the wide receiver with our first round pick. I got to say, I'm a little excited about that.
I was going to tell you my rankings. I have Colston Loveland as the 13th player in the class. Overall. I have Ibuka as 17. So I'm fine with them. Again, in my grade on my board, both of these are values. Now,
nice.
Who are the other two guys? I forgot. Amanwari I have at 31 and
Ty Williams.
Ty Williams I have at 44.
Our boy Jake, he preferred Loveland, but he's very happy. Yeah, that's how I feel. Even though, like, I probably, you know what? I can honestly tell you, I might have very well have gone exactly this way. If this was real and we were really looking at this exact scenario after our trade down, I could totally see me going with Ibuka there. So, all right, our first pick is in. We got ourselves a first-round wide receiver after gaining some capital and a nice lengthy trade back. Let's take a look at these. Again, we will not entertain any trades after the third round. Maybe we'll do after the second round here. We're not going to entertain any trades after the second round. So here we go. We're sitting at pick 42. Do me a favor. Hide this real quick and click on the Jets logo on the left right there.
Boom.
So we got pick 42 and 55. So just to keep that in mind, if we were to trade 42, we pick in 13 picks again. So just keep it in mind when we're talking about this. All right.
Yeah.
So we'll do a quickie.
Trade offer is 9. We go from 42 all the way down to 90. So that's the bottom of the third round. Then we get a top of the fourth round pick, a second and a fourth next year.
All right. So that's all to pick 90. And we get that's a fourth round pick, and we get a second and fourth next year. Wow, we're really stacking up next year if we take that. What's the next? Oh, it's only one trade offer, huh?
That's it.
All right, and then no trade. All right, guys, the poll is up. So we have one trade offer, slide back from 42 to 90, remembering we have a pick in 13 picks. So we would be in this scenario using pick 42 to gain an extra third and a second next year, second and a fourth next year, while still having a second round pick in 13 picks. So not the worst thing in the world, but it's up to you guys. Oh, shit. Start the timer, Bean. Okay. All right, here we go.
I know what I'm voting on this one.
You do? Oh, yeah, look at these guys. Okay. You know what? Me personally, I'm staying right here, and I got my eyes on I got my eyes on two of those guys. Yeah. So that's exactly what I'm doing.
There's 4 guys right here. 5 guys, but 4 in particular that I think are fucking phenomenal. Excuse my language, but that's the only way I can describe them.
I'll tell you what. If I took one of my guys and in the 13 picks, the other one was gone, I might even consider Milroe, brother.
Yeah.
Right here. We have the flexibility to do something like that. That would excite me, actually.
Yeah.
Let Milrose sit behind Tyrod Taylor for a season, or even a half of the season, whatever it may be. Let Engstrand and the running back quarterback coach that we got there kind of fucking dig in and get to work, huh?
Or the tight end lineman coach, or the lineman tight end coach.
Exactly. We're all jammed up on the offensive side of the ball.
I know we joke around with stuff like that, but realistically, and speaking from a completely different lens, these guys bounce all over the place as positional coaches. Like, you look at what's his face. Who was the guy who was I can't think of his name right now. He was the offensive coordinator for Houston last year. We interviewed him for the head coach this year.
Oh yeah.
Came from San Francisco. Somebody help me.
Got like it's like a quirky last name. Yeah, I don't. Somebody put it in the chat. I just can't.
Anyhow, he was a defensive coach moving forward, and then San Francisco, Shanahan said, "Okay, you're going to be an offensive assistant."
Yeah, Slowick. Yeah, there it is.
He was a defensive coach.
Early Norman and Alex.
Yeah, he was a linebacker. He was a linebackers coach, and then Shanahan one day just said, "You're going to be an offensive assistant," and then all of a sudden he's the offensive coordinator. You know what I mean? So, and even what's his face, Todd Downing, coach quarterbacks and offense coordinator his whole career. Now he's with New England and he's the wide receivers coach. So it happens all the time.
It happens, but here, and I'm totally with that. My problem is the Jets are we're a quarterback meat grinder, young So really, just like that's what I continually say this about the Jets GMs and coaches that we hire. They never account for this. Isn't fucking San Francisco. This isn't Baltimore. This isn't Phoenix. You know what I mean? Like, this is the Jet. You have to account for that. We need an exceptional quarterback coach. We need an exceptional offensive line coach, like what Vrabel did up there in New England. He's got Doug Maroney. Like, come on. That's what I wanted. All right. Anyway, let's end this poll. No trade crushed it, Tom.
Yep.
So we're not going anywhere. So now we'll put up the poll. We're going to be picking at 42.
Yep.
All right. So pick 42. We got, I'm going to tell you right now, we got Xavier Watts, safety. Jihad Campbell. Is there 2 A's in G?
Yes.
Jihad Campbell. Now, guys, remember, it's likely, at least there's a better than average chance that Jamian Sherwood is going to be plucked. Okay. So it's something to consider. And we really don't have much going on in the linebacker because, like you said in the previous stream, Quincy Williams is only here 1 year. So, let's take a look now at maybe tight ends, defensive tackles, Dom.
Yeah, defensive tackles. Listen, I'm going to give you my 2 cents. Deion Walker is a huge son of a bitch.
Open his clipboard.
6'7", 350, probably 6'8", 350. Really, really. And last year he was arguably the best defensive lineman, in the SEC. This year he did not play well. He did something came about. I don't know if he was hurt. I'm just being honest. I don't know if he was hurt. He had a very, very down year. But you're talking about guys that want to plug up holes. That's him. Alfred Collins. I know he's down here at 67, but this second round is probably where he's going to fall off in real draft. And this is another big 6'5", 320-pound guy that can plug next to Quinnen Williams. So if you're thinking defensive tackles, I'd go there. I don't even know.
Collins over Walker?
I absolutely would take Collins over Walker.
All right, so let's put him up there. Whoops, Collins. Neither one of these guys. You know what? I should just leave it between Watts and Campbell. Well, because the defensive he's not beating Xavier Watts right now. So let's go to the tight ends and see who we got there.
Sure.
Because I don't want to just muck up the works here. I want to make it a real.
Mason, you got a bunch of good ones, right?
Yeah,
Taylor,
I'm going to put Mason. Arroyo. All right, I'm going to put Mason Taylor up there. That's my guy, by the way, guys. So I'm going to leave it as a 3-banger. I don't want to muddy it up. This is really between Xavier Watts and Jihad Campbell, in my opinion. But I put an offensive guy up there. So the poll is up. The timer is going. as of right now. Get your votes in, everybody. We got 233 people in the YouTube chat. We got another 120 on X, right? 125 on X. So all the YouTubers can vote. I hope you all do. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to follow on Twitter. And if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, that would be really great too. I don't think you can vote or comment if you're not a subscriber. It's free, and once you subscribe in 5 minutes, you'll be able to. I only do that because I want to get rid of the porn spam. That's if I don't do it, then I get spammed. So that's really what it is. Rusty Spooner wants to know where Lakey went. Well, he's way down the board. That's what it is. If he scrolls down on that tight end list, you'll see the Iowa tight end probably
somewhere.
Was he drafted already? No way.
Did I pass him? Ah, here he is, 200.
Yeah, there he is. He's rated 200 on their board. He's definitely going to be a late round pick.
Yeah, I don't see him going before. I mean, listen, if you told me that he went undrafted, I wouldn't be all that surprised. But it's a deep tight end class, so there's going to be guys that might have been drafted in years past, but I don't think he's going to be. You're talking most of these guys down here, from bringing Sewell to Evans to Lakey.
Yeah.
Yeah,
what?
Halls is going to go higher, but
Rusty, I'm going to tell you, Dom's not all that high on Lakey.
Not my favorite. I think he's a guy. I don't think he's special. But
now, if he was coming out of Iowa State, I'd really make a case. I'm telling you, man, those Iowa State tight ends, bro, they get me excited. But yeah, so look, I mean, it's looking pretty. Look, if you guys want Campbell or Taylor, you better get your votes in, because Xavier Watts is running away with this one. So we got 79 votes out of 232 people. Remember to get your votes in, guys. Let's see what else. Any other comments?
I'm surprised somebody got in there for Taylor. He got some love.
Yeah, hell yeah. He's going to be good, man. And he's Jason Taylor's son. And Zach Thomas is his fucking brother, so I guess his uncle. Dude, there's something about that too. Like, he's super talented. He's got the size, he's got all the skills you want. Little bit raw in some areas.
Yeah, I just don't like his blocking.
That's exactly right. Yeah,
that's something that's something that can develop.
But that's the thing. So, like, when you're looking to develop a guy, you look at who they are, their makeup, right? Are they going to do the work? Dude, he's Jason Taylor's son. With whatever you think about Jason Taylor, the one thing you can't take away, dude, the guy's balls to the wall. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, all right, the poll is ending, everybody. We got 84 votes in. Xavier Watts ran away with 54% of the vote, Tom. So let's go ahead and take our safety.
GreenBean, how would you have voted there, honestly? I know what I did, but.
Yeah, I might have taken Watts because I'm afraid of him. I think he's going to get plucked first. And not look at one of the things that we try to do here is not look at the ratings of the sim, because then you can play with it and you can get anybody you want. You're like, well, he's rated 200, so I'm at pick 101. I don't need to take him. Like, you can't play that game. You never know what other GMs are going to do. So we're just looking at our own ratings. You know what I mean? As best we can. I could have went either way. It would have definitely been one of Xavier Watts or Jihad Campbell. No doubt. I might have taken Campbell over him, but I think probably Watts there.
I was 1000% Campbell. I think he is. I don't think he's a top 10 player in my class. And not to say Watts isn't good. But I think Campbell's a guy that's going to plug and play for the next 12 years.
Yeah, I think right. I right now I'm looking at him as the top linebacker in the class, especially when you're not talking about edge rushing and shit like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. So all right. Well, look, here we are at pick 55, guys. We can gain a third next year. This is the last trade we're going to entertain for tonight.
Yep.
So we got KC. They want to get us back. So we're going back. What is that? 7 spots, Tom?
7 spots and gain a third. Or the Lions say, go back 5 spots and gain a 5th. Or no trade.
All right, wait, hold on. Pick 55. So we got KC is offering us to go back to pick 63. That's 7 spots. What's the next one?
The next one is Detroit. Go back 5 spots to 60 and gain a 5th.
Wow. I would go back 3 more spots unless I was really targeting somebody, which is Campbell still on the board?
No.
No, sad. That's what's sad about it. When you just can't get all the guys that you want.
Let's see.
Where did he go?
Campbell
Right
went.
after us?
No, he went 51.
Oh, to the freaking Broncos. And then there's Milrow. Yeah, that sucks. That sucks.
Yeah.
You know what? Now, I'll tell you what. This is what's interesting. My feelings right now, I think I would be more upset about losing Campbell than Watts. So maybe I would have gone Campbell there.
Well, I just think that the drop off between Campbell and the next guy is so incredibly large. Whereas there's going to be a drop off from Watts, but
is that the only 2 trades though? Real quick, and then you can continue.
Yes,
okay.
correct.
The poll is up, everybody. I'm starting the timer. Continue, Dom.
Yeah, no, I was just saying. Even though Watts was arguably the best safety on the board there, right? Where was it? Here. I would be completely fine if we, Makuba or even some of these guys here, like Winston, Ransom, Billy Bowman, Jalen Reed.
Yeah, Jalen Reed, Sanker. Yeah, I love those guys.
Although they might be in a different tier than Watts is, I don't think the tier drop is as big as it is from Campbell to the next guy. That's just my opinion, though.
So what did I just see here? Havmo is saying you're pronouncing it wrong, everybody. Lakey is pronounced Lachey. It's going to take me a minute, but I appreciate it. I'm calling him Lakey for a little while. I'm still calling Fashanu, buddy. You know what I mean? Fuck, I can't do it. But that's good. Yeah, thank you. Donker Sloot's here. Look at this guy. What's up, Donker Sloot? Good to see you. Look at all these guys. I love you guys. This is so good. E-Boogie's in the house. Jarrow says darts dropping for good reason. Dude, I'm telling you right now, I'm not in love with this guy. People are just freaking out right now. I'd much rather Milrow. I'd much rather come away with Milrow than Jackson Dart. That's just me. If we're going to try to develop a guy for a minute, that's just me.
I mean, I don't know. I have them ranked, rated so close and graded so close. I think one's strengths don't match the other strengths, and one's weaknesses don't match the other weaknesses. Like, because there's no denying. People can say whatever they want about Jalen Milrow, and I know a lot of people watch the last games and so on and so forth. There's no denying the athletic ability is something that we haven't seen in a quarterback in a long, long time, right? Where people are going to try to compare him to Anthony Richardson, he's not, man. He's better. He's better with the ball in his hand than Anthony Richardson. He's the closest thing that you'll see to Lamar Jackson as a true dual threat running back.
Right. Rusty says dart equals shart. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. How much time we got left? I'm going to end this one. It's no trade. I'll end it a minute early because there's no way.
Okay.
So it's no trade, Dom. So we're going to stick and pick at pick 55. Where are we? We're on the big board.
Yep. And this is just a reminder who we've had. We took a wide receiver in Emeka Ibuka, and we took a safety in Xavier Watson. Here's the big board, guys.
All right. So now look, we'll put Jackson Dart up there because a lot of people like him. So who the fuck am I to tell you guys who to like, right?
Yeah.
So pick 55.
I would put Jackson Dart. I'm gonna selfishly ask you to put Princely Umanmielen on there because I think
what position is he?
He's an edge rusher.
Edge rusher, huh? Well, now who is it again? You got Donovan.
No, Donovan Azaraku is good too, but I'm saying Princely Umanmielen. I may give you all the last names that are hard to say.
I know this is like I have to I gotta stay. My eyes are shit. And it's small. You're making this. This is supposed to be fun, Dom.
You need it bigger. I can make it bigger.
No. I'm just playing with you. I mean, I'm being real, but I did get it. So now let's look at the tight ends because we're definitely thinking. So we got a quarterback and an edge.
Yeah.
But we got to get, like, in my opinion, where are we? We're still in the second, looking at defensive tackle, looking at tight end here.
So Gunnar Helm's an inline guy, and Elijah Arroyo's more of a big slot, more of a receiving weapon. Gunnar Helm's more of a do-it-all kind of guy.
How's his hands?
Oh, very good.
Like, really, though? Is he like a legit receiving threat?
I will. No, yeah, he is. I'll give you his numbers. I think I have him here on my.
All right. So if you had the choice, if they said, "Look, it's your pick. You're between Helm and Arroyo. Who you taking?"
I'll tell you this much: I have Helm as my tight end 3 in the class. I have Arroyo as my tight end 6. But that's just me.
Well, that's good. All right. So we're gonna throw a tight end option up there for you guys. We'll put Gunnar Helm up there.
Yeah. And you want to look at the defensive tackles?
I think so. We should keep our eye on linebacker too. Deion Walker's still there.
So is Collins, TJ Sanders. I mean, all 3 of these guys are good.
We're gonna throw Alfred Collins up there.
Yeah, Collins and Walker, your one tech types.
Which is what we're going to need, especially with they're talking about having, maybe not our base, but a significant amount of 3-4.
Yep.
You definitely want a legit one tech in there. You want you want that nose tackle, 2-gapper, a guy that can actually do the job, not just a guy, like Quinnen Williams putting him at edge. It's like it's just not going to work. And Quinnen Williams, with all due respect, that's not what he does. Yeah. You know what I mean? He needs to, like, his job, what he excels at is like split in the guard and center. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of what he's doing. He's trying to penetrate. So, all right, we got Alfred Collins, a true one tech. Here we go. The poll is up, everybody. See, this is cool because we got so many needs. I mean, it sucks. I wish we didn't in real life, but for our mock,
yeah.
The timer is started. We got 239 on YouTube. Wow, Twitter is really picking up too. Got 150 on Twitter. Hello to the Twitter folks.
Yeah. I'm curious to see the results of this poll, more so because I think we'll get a good temperature of where, at least this chat, or where people feel in this whole quarterback class, GreenBean.
Yeah. Yeah, Jackson Dart is a part of this group here.
Correct.
Again, I'm not judging, but I just, look, man, I feel like if we, like, just me personally, especially a second-round pick, I feel like if we're throwing a second-round pick at a quarterback right now who's really fringy as far as how much you can develop them and all that kind of, it's going to preclude us from taking a quarterback next year in what looks to be a significantly stronger quarterback class. And I just don't like, I feel like it's almost a wasted pick, Dom. That's how I feel. Now,
I will say this. I agree with parts of what you said, but I vehemently disagree with the idea that if we take a second round quarterback here, that will preclude us from taking a quarterback. This ain't Mike McCagnon, absolutely not. I think anything outside of round 1 is fair game. If the quarterback's on the board next year that you like, you go get him.
Look, I'd love to believe that.
Yeah. Do you really want to hate?
That's the thing. Like you said before, though, we don't know Muji. We don't know Muji with what's his name now? I forgot.
AG?
No, Spielman.
Yeah.
Right. And AG, we don't know we don't know these guys. So we're like governing ourselves by, Joe Douglas and the previous. These guys might tickle us for all we know and do exactly like you're talking about, not feel hamstrung. It's one of the things I liked about Joe Douglas. As soon as he came in here, he traded with the Pats, he traded with the Giants. These were things that, like, every Jets GM that just felt like we're not allowed to do that. He traded with fucking Miami. He's like, I don't care. What do I care? I like that.
GreenBean, do you really want to hate Jackson Dart? Because I'll give you a little tidbit of information that
throw it at me, buddy. I'm open for business, bud.
He went to the same high school as Zach Wilson.
dude. We can't. I mean,
Kid you not,
right?
kid you not. Yep.
That's incredible.
Another
That's
pretty
incredible.
Mormon quarterback.
Yeah, what's his relationship with his friends' mothers? That's next. That's next question.
He's a fine looking fellow, though. I will say, Jet. They breed him pretty out there in Utah, I guess.
Yeah. Well, yeah, good looking people. The poll is over. Look at this. I'm actually surprised. We're taking a defensive tackle with the second of our second round picks. Alfred Collins runs away with it.
Are you?
37%.
I'm not that surprised. I think it's a smart pick.
I honestly thought you know what it is? We got a smart chat, and they're like, we can get our tight end in the third or fourth. That's what they're doing. I know it. Well done, chat.
And Jackson Dart is a New York Giant. He just got picked by the Giants.
Nice. Good. Get out of here.
And there goes
because they got beat, right? Because they didn't get their quarterback at pick 3. They ended up getting Travis Hunter in this draft, I think. Oh, there goes Schweschinger. That's one of my favorite linebackers in this draft as well.
There goes Arroyo. Yeah, the tight ends all went off, man.
Really?
For the most part, I think.
Did Ferguson go?
No. Gunner Helm's still there.
Oh, look at that. So they Arroyo jumped them. Not that's fucking interesting. All right, guys. So here we sit at pick 86. Remember, for our purposes, we are no longer entertaining trades. So when they come up, we're just going to disregard them. How many picks we got left, Dom? Let's just do a temp check here.
We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And scroll down a little bit. Did we gain another one?
Oh,
yep. So
1,
6.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
So we got 6 picks left. Could do a lot of damage here. We're at pick 86.
This is actually wrong. This is actually wrong. We don't own 209.
Well, we traded.
Not for 209.
Yeah, it was thrown in there at the end, wasn't it?
Nope. No, it's okay. I mean, it tells us we have it, so we're going to pick it, but we don't have a 7th rounder in this draft class.
Yeah, I think I click on the blue swirly there for next to Alfred Collins. Okay, all right, now close that and let's pick. Yeah, do that one. No, you're right. Yeah. So okay, it's a little off. All right, Dom. Now we are in the 3rd round. Looks like we have 2 3rd-round picks. Dare I entertain my young friends and old heads? Maybe we start looking at offensive tackles too, Dom.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I like offensive tackles here. I like linebackers. Chris Paul is staring me right in the face, and that's why I said it, because I think he's a build that would play well next to
Savion Williams.
Savion, we already took a wide receiver.
I know, but that's okay.
If you want to double dip there, that's fine.
I'm putting him up.
Dare you say offensive tackle, you say?
Yeah.
Trapillo's there. We had a good conversation about Anthony Belton on me and Ryan, and we talked about him, how he could really develop into one of those, power style run first scheme right tackles, or at worst be a guard, which is fine too.
Now, remember, guys, don't get caught up in their rating system, right?
Right.
So, if they have a guy at 150 and we're sitting at 86, it doesn't mean that we can't, you can play the sim and get all your favorite candy if you want. But in reality, we're going by what we think. So we look at it as a guide to a degree, but we don't want to be, dependent or using that to govern our draft, because it's what I like to call, Dom, cheating. You know what I mean?
Alex Canelo, thank you for the clarification. So 209 is actually a 6th-round pick. That's the one that we got for who did we trade? The wide receiver there that played 7 snaps for us.
Yeah, that was Mecole Hardman.
Yeah. So I thought that 209 was a 7th rounder. So I stand corrected. Thank you for that.
There you go. That's right. Thank you. Who was that? Alex?
Alex, yeah.
Nice. Well done, Alex.
Okay, so I think
I got Savion Williams and Trapillo up there right now.
Okay. I think you got to throw Gunner Helm again.
All right, we'll throw Gunner Helm.
And let's throw my guy in here. Throw Chris Paul.
A linebacker?
Yeah. I'll give you, I don't know if you've had a chance to watch him.
I have not watched a single
he's-
moment of Chris Paul.
He's actually a little bit bigger than this. I think he came in weighing about 230. But like I said, he combines speed and he combines that downhill ferocious tackling type. He's like Jihad Campbell light, if you will. It's a much smaller version. Jihad Campbell's almost 6'5", 245.
Yeah, he's a fucking beast.
He's just a demon. Yeah.
You know why? So I told you I was looking at Demetrius Knight, but I was also there's a linebacker, Dumas Johnson or some shit like that.
It's from Kentucky. Yeah,
Kentucky.
Yeah.
I might like him later too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much. I shouldn't say that, because you never know. But he's a guy that is kind of in the mold of what we have in Zaire Barnes and who's the other guy? Marcelino McCray. Where he's probably special teams first, could develop into something. So,
all right. So, Money Mitch checking in. How about Kyle Murray from Collage? I'm busting your balls, Mitch. Real quick, the poll is up, everybody. So we got our choices, and the timer's cooking. We got 150 left. So get your votes in, everybody. Let your voice be heard. But real quick, Kyle Murray, any thoughts?
Kyler Murray, is he talking about?
He says from college, I think he's saying. I mean, I don't know. Kyle Murray.
I think he's saying Kyler Murray. I don't know, Mitch Money. You're confusing me here, bud.
All right. So what I'm going to do is I am going to hold on just a second here. Hold on. While we're finishing the poll, we're going to talk about the sponsor of this show. I'm going to push you off to the side real quick, Dom. Don't close your website or anything. All right, here we go. Guys, as you know, it's been cold out here, right? And you can see what that fella's wearing right there. I have one of those. It's an amazing shirt. It looks like a beautiful dress shirt, but it stretches and it's more comfortable than anything you ever wore. But here's the thing. Spring is a-coming, Dom. It's time to start preparing to shed those extra layers. And what better way to do it than with Chubbies, with their Friday shirts and stretch shorts without any bullshit. I'm telling you right now, my favorite pair of shorts and my favorite shirt, if we're going out to get lunch or something like that on a spring day, it's without question. I have 2 Chubbies Friday shirts. I have 2 Chubbies pairs of stretch shorts. They are my absolute favorite things to wear. They stretch and they look like they don't stretch. That's the greatest thing about them. Chubbies has everything that you need for spring and for summer. They have the most amazing swimwear, Dom. You know how swim trunks, they have that mesh inside and it kind of chafes a little bit?
Yeah.
Not Chubbies, sure. Man. Chubbies has figured all that out. It's super comfortable. The most comfortable swim trunks I have are, guess who? Chubbies, everybody. So this is the offer. I have a link in the description of this very video. If you click that link or go to Chubbies and use the promo code GreenJetsFan, you're going to be getting 20% off your entire order from Chubbies. That's right, 20%. You can get 10 Friday shirts, 20% off. You can get 1 Friday shirt, 20% off, all by clicking the link in this description of this video. Guys, it's an amazing offer for a truly amazing product, and I thank Chubbies for hanging out with us on the 10 o'clock mock, everybody. So, Dom, here we go. I'll throw yours back up.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to end the poll. It ended. And check out who won. Can you believe it? Gunner Helm.
Gunner Helm. Welcome to the New York Jets.
Wait, let me make sure. Hold on. Don't pick them yet. Hold on.
Too late. Too late. I did it.
Because it's not popping up. Jake has, this is funny. Jake goes, Greenbean's going to be out there shoveling a foot of snow Thursday in his Chubbies. They're that comfortable. That's amazing. But it is Gunner Helm. 51%, followed by Ozzie Trapillo with 25. Savion Williams got a respectable 12%. Chris Paul 10%. Dom. So Rusty Spooner no likey.
Can I make a suggestion here?
Yeah, of course.
We have another 3rd round pick. Why don't you take the other 3 guys and throw them right back in the pool?
There you go.
Actually, I don't think we can. Yeah, you can because they're all there. Savion Williams, Ozzie Trapillo, Chris Paul.
All right, that's a great idea. So we'll do Chris Paul, the linebacker, and who was it? Ozzie
Trapillo. Yep.
How do you? Is it Trupillo?
Trap. Illo.
Okay.
Trapilo.
All right, guys. So this is pick 92, is it?
Yes, sir.
All right, here you go. That's a great idea, guys. So now we got, if you guys haven't taken a look at Savion Williams yet, just take a look. I mean, you know, it's funny that he got a Denzel Mims comp because I actually think he's closer to Laviska Shenault. He's got Anquan Bolden written all over him. He's 6'5", 6'6". He's a fucking monster.
Is he that tall? Yeah.
Yeah, he's big, dude. Take a look. Click on his little clipboard there.
Oh, yeah, I could do it there. I was looking on my draft board. 6'5", 225. Yeah.
6'5", 225. Dude, he fights for like even when there's 4 guys on him, you can't possibly get that much more yardage. He fights for the extra 3 feet. I love guys like that. Plus, he's not afraid to lay the wood on a block, you know, when he's blocking.
Yeah, there's one thing about him that I don't like, which I kind of like in my wide receivers. To be able to catch,
he catches fine.
I'm teasing you.
Do you look at him as bad hands? I'm just digging in.
He's not the greatest of hands.
I don't like drops, dude. Don't you fucking drop that ball? I'm not into that.
So Savion Williams had, well, you know what? It wasn't terrible last year. His drop rate was 5%.
Not bad at all.
He had a 70% contested catch rate, though.
See that? Yeah. Well, dude, a big guy like that, and he's, you know, look, it's 6'5", 225. If you don't, you know, if you're not winning the contested catch scenarios, then you're a waste of space. You know, the thing is funny too is that his in-game speed is something to behold. Like, you know, he's not going to blow your doors off with his 40 probably. But like when they're chasing him,
no, I think he'll run a fast 40. I mean, he won't be Denzel Mims 4.3 speed, but I think he's gonna test out very well. You got to remember, TCU didn't ask too much of him. They gave him the ball in short areas and let him did the work. A lot of screens, a lot of quick hitches and slants and go routes. So the route tree is a little bit limited. That you're gonna give and you're gonna get. You're gonna give and you're gonna lose some when you're taking a guy that's not a true first round talent.
Yeah. Money Mitch says Kyle Murray is the new Knoble. All right, well you gotta explain it. You know, like I don't know. We're not all caught up.
Knoble's from Jake Asman.
Yeah, well I know. Yeah, right. Knoble. I mean, come on, Knoble was fucking legendary. All right, so. Oh, I didn't put the timer on, so I forgot to put the timer on.
It's about good.
I think we're good here. Only 54 votes, man. Still 212 in here. You got to get your votes in, guys. But that's going to be Ozzie Trapillo. We got ourselves a nice 3rd round tackle. This is how to do it, everybody. This is how to do it.
That's right. And especially for a guy like this. We talked about it, GreenBean. I know you and I, and in our group chat privately, like this tackle class is very wonky, and the value is going to be here in rounds 3 and 4 and so on and so forth. You're going to find, you know, the value at the top of the board in the tackle class isn't there this year, but you're going to find good value in rounds 3 and 4. So I'm happy that we went with an offensive lineman, and I'm happy we went with one in this area because I think that's where you're meshing talent and value.
Right.
We got a long ways to go here. Oh, that's because we traded 109.
All right, here we go. Jets Afterburners checking in. Well, thanks, bud.
Hey,
good to see you
man?
around. Yeah, man.
I don't know
Michael
if that's
says,
I don't know if that's Dan or I don't know if that's Liam.
it's everyone. It's the whole thing. Michael says, Dire of a Madman. I know it'd be fun to have an Aussie in the house, wouldn't it? It's been too long. All right, so here we go. We're on you
Round
took
5.
You took your pick at 92. We're at 146, everybody. We got a wide receiver, a safety, a defensive tackle, a tight. Wait, do me a favor. Click on the Jets again. Let's just do a quick little recap. We got a wide receiver, our safety, defensive tackle, tight end, and an offense. Dude, we are fucking it up, guys. This is good, and I mean in a good way. We're smashing this thing. All right. 146.
Yeah,
Let's take a look at the quarterbacks real quick. See who's around. We're in the 4th round. Or 146. Is that still the 4th
round? 5th round.
5th round, yeah.
And you still got Kyle McCord on the board. I know Tyler Shuck. Look at him at 259 here, but he's going to go way higher than that. There's a lot of people that think Tyler Shuck's going to be a day 2 pick. Now, I don't necessarily see it because he's going to be 26 this season. He's a 60-year player, had some injuries, but he can really chuck it, man. He can spin it a little bit. So, if you're looking at quarterback, realistically, I mean, you can make the argument for Chuck. I'll listen to it, but it's probably Kyle McCord.
Kyle McCord. All right, so we'll throw Kyle McCord in. I know a lot of guys are hoping to get a mid. Well, technically speaking, we're in the late rounds, but 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, yeah, I guess the late rounds.
But I think the value is here on the defensive side, right? Jordan Phillips, you got another big nasty. I mean, we already took Collins. That might be a little bit redundant there. Demetrius Knight, you talked about a linebacker,
Love
right?
him.
Yeah.
And we don't have one yet.
Yep. Jamari Caldwell, who's great value here as well, I think. But again, another big defensive tackle. He can move too. If you want to double dip at safety, you got Jonas Anker. CJ West is another one-tech style defensive tackle. Now, you get into some guys here oh my God.
Oh, the Pats got Savion Jones. We're going to hate that, everybody.
Yeah. You got some guys here on the defensive side of the ball, especially the edge rushers. You talked about it before, GreenBean. The Jets are going to play a lot more odd man front. So you're going to need a true 5-tech or 6-eye, a guy who can play the defensive end in that 3-man front. So whether or not you want to attack that, I think it's something that.
Well, I think, right, especially here, like this is an area where I'm comfortable. Now, admittedly, I'm not going to be able to add too much in this realm. So if you got a good, outside guy that you want to bring in, into the poll here, let me know.
Yeah. I want to see if.
And then we'll take a look at the big board too. Stackhouse. Oh. Stackhouse later. You guys got to take a look.
Look how low they have Ty Hamilton here. That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't know, man. I like Aeneas Peebles. I really like Aeneas Peebles. But he's
so is he a 5-tech? Is he more interior?
So he is a smaller guy.
What's his weight? 293. I hate him.
Yeah, but GreenBean, you remember my guy out of Pitt a couple years ago? Kalijah Cansey?
Yeah, I fucking love Kalijah Cansey.
Peebles is a Kalijah Cansey clone. Like that's the kind of small, undersized, can play the 5 if you want him to. But really going to get at the passer. Really, like that's his forte. Fires off, wins with leverage. Small, just like Kalijah Cansey. I mean, he's a little bit bigger.
I'll throw him up there. So Aeneas
Peebles,
defensive tackle. But let's take a look. Open up the linebackers for me, because don't forget, guys, we need more than one safety. We need more than one defensive tackle. Chaz Surratt's going to be whisked away to San Francisco with his daddy, Robert Saleh. So, we have 1 year of Quincy. You got Sherwood that hopefully we keep, but he's not. He's a free agent, unrestricted free agent. And then we have what's his name? Our 5th round pick from a couple years ago.
Zaire Barnes.
Zaire Barnes. And that's basically it. So
Yeah.
we need some of these guys. So let's see what we got here. Oh, Jalen Walker's there.
I like Tyrone Powell. I don't understand how they have him ranked so low. I mean, I think that this is the area where he's going to be off the board. Again, bigger guy. You're talking about, probably an early down,
though, Dom.
An early down run fit in middle linebacker. Like think old school 3-4 inside linebacker. That's the kind of guy that Tyrone Powell is. He's not going to cover much. He's not going to cover a lick. He's going to get toasted by running backs out of the backfield. But, when you're playing that odd front and you want somebody to come down and lay the wood, that's him.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it would take a lot for me to grab guys from Rutgers in the early 5th. Maybe a fan, maybe. I don't know. I don't love Rutgers.
Yeah.
Guys.
I like Kareem Reed also. He's another Nick Martin, I think is good. It's a little bit undersized.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Demetrius Knight, he's still there, right? Demetrius Knight?
He is, yeah.
Now, what about Bossa? Was it Bossa, right?
Oh, yeah, he's great.
Yeah, let's put him up there.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably too low. If we're going realistic, I think Bossa's going off the board early.
Well, we never know,
Okay, put him up there.
So we got 2 linebackers, a defensive tackle, and Kyle McCord, everybody. Coming your way. See if you guys bypass the 3 defensive options to take that quarterback value while E-Boogie checks in. Thank you for your 22 months of Stream Beaner support, E-Boogie. I love you, man. Thank you. Dom C, is Hunter Wohler and Jay Higgins any good?
I like Jay Higgins a whole bunch. Again, he's right in that tweener size. He's probably about 6'2", 6'3", 230. I think he's probably more coverage style linebacker. Like I think he's going to be a good Mike in a 4-3, which we will run. We will run a lot, but he was a real. I think he was like a 4-star, 5-star recruit coming out of high school. He started elsewhere. He transferred to Iowa, but he's fast. He's physical. He understands the game. Like, he's going to be a green dot. He's going to be a green dot guy calling the plays real quick. I like him. Maybe he's a tick slow for some people. Maybe he doesn't shed blocks as well as some of these other guys, which is probably why he's in this range. But yeah, I like Higgins a lot. I think he's a good ball player. Wohler, the safety from Wisconsin, he's a big guy, but he's slow. He's kind of.
So right now, Dom, this is a neck and neck. You got to get your votes in. We still got 200 plus people in here. Only 48 voted. We got Kyle McCord with 39 and Demetrius Knight with 37. This is a tight race. You got to get your votes in, everybody. Dom, did you vote?
I did.
I know you didn't vote for McCord.
I didn't.
So I just had an idea, and I threw it at Ryan Delaney. As you guys know, Jets Talk 24. So I said, hey, let's capture all 3 drafts from our 3 hours of mocking, and then we'll make a graphic, put it out on Twitter and YouTube and everything like that. And let's let you guys vote on which one was the best. So this is the one that you guys have input on, though. So I'm really hoping that this is the one that looks the best each week. But we'll see. Dom and Ryan, the show before this one, and Ryan and Tigo, the show before that one.
Well, I can tell you that mine and Ryan's won't win because
it was very.
I
it was
steered,
good.
I listen. They were all my guys.
I didn't love Grant that early, but I do love him.
Yeah, he's the man. He is the man.
All right, if it's close. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. So Sodak, and we'll do like a 1-minute poll, right? So right now, Demetrius Knight has it, so I don't think we have to. I was going to say if it's, anyway.
Good, that's who I picked.
So Demetrius Knight, I think, is slam dunk pick, by the way. Slam dunk.
Yeah, the only negative with him is he's 25.
That's
took
all
the
right.
co-
We only need him for
took the
5
co-
years anyway.
He took the COVID year, transferred, did that whole dance that they all do in college these days.
So Sodak, the linebacker won. So, and it was by comparison. Anywho, I think that was pretty good. That was a good one. So we got Demetrius Knight. Now we're at pick 157. Did we get another linebacker earlier? No, we didn't get Campbell. Do that again if you don't mind.
Sure. We got Abuka, Watts, Collins, Helm, Trapillo, and Demetrius Knight. So we're going all over the place, filling all sorts of positional needs here. We got 3 picks left, guys.
Pick 157. I'm going to throw Bassa on there again.
Okay.
Is it Jeffrey?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can I make a suggestion? I'm going to go way down. I'm going to go way down the board on this one.
We're going to go get our fat. You're going to go get him?
No, we got Collins. He's the fatty. I'm going to suggest Jackson Hawes. Now,
For tight end?
yes. I think double dip in a tight end is not a bad option in a deep class. Now, Hawes has a skill set that nobody else in this class does. He blocks as good as a lot of these tackles. He is a inline block first, H-back block first kind of player. He can do a little bit of everything. He can play in line in 12 and 13 personnel. He can be the H-back. He can be a fullback. He can sneaky enough to get out in in space and catch the ball. But when I tell you that if he never caught one ball all year long, you're going to fall in love with Jackson Hawes when you watch him play.
We got some cries for Jamari Caldwell as well. Devin Bryan loves Jackson Hawes, so I threw him up there.
Yeah.
We got to start talking about kickers too, everybody. We're going to take one. I mean, not necessarily. We're definitely going to add them to the mix. See you, Caden. Have a great night, buddy. Let's see here. So, okay, I got Jeffrey Bassa and Jackson Hawes. Let's throw Jamari Caldwell up there.
Yeah. Rusty, man, you've been saying it all night, man. I told you what I don't, Lachey's fine. If you want to take Lachey, take him. I don't care. That's fine.
You can throw him up there, but I don't want to split the tight ends on you, Rusty. He's
Kyle McCord's still there. Why don't you throw him on there, GreenBean?
I put Fatty. Okay, so Kyle McCord, the QB, will be back up there because he got a significant portion of the votes last time. I have a feeling he might take it away. All right, guys, the poll is up there. Be great value if you're looking for a quarterback. I mean, this is about as good a value as you can think of. For this type of situation. So let me get the damn timer up here. All right. I trimmed it down to 2.5 minutes for these later rounds.
Okay.
So there's Jamari Caldwell. Jonas Sanker's still there to be able to get another, maybe back, get our second safety. Dude, that would be incredible value. If you can get Sanker down there in the 180 range, I'd be fucking ecstatic.
Yeah, he can move, man. I love his versatility. He can play all over the place. He can really flip his hips and run, man.
Well, Youthforia. See, I know the running. I know you're not alone. I saw a few comments tonight about running back, but we have a running back stable, and that's a good running back stable. Like you could very easily fold in an undrafted free agent or a cheap vet and round it out without utilizing your draft capital, in my opinion. I mean, we have a second-round pick, a fifth-round pick, and a sixth-round pick, and they're all good. They all got great hands. They all block. They all, they're just in my opinion, we have enough needs not to force feed a running back in. Again, you can just grab an undrafted free agent and keep him on the back end. And we have, did you guys remember, we signed Bam Knight. So he's technically still here, isn't he, Dom?
Did we sign Bam Knight?
Yeah, we signed him. I believe we did.
I think you did.
So we got Bam Knight back, everybody. Don't forget that youth for you.
And we also got that kid. I can't ever say his name. Kiki Agakwe, the guy who returns kicks.
We never should have got rid of Covington, everybody. We kept him for fucking Xavier Gibson. It just pisses me off, dude.
So we do not have Bam Knight. Bam Knight is not on the reserves. We do have Zach Evans as a running back in reserve.
Oh, that's a bummer. I would love to see Bam Knight round out the group. Sodak checking in. So guys, get your votes in. Kyle McCord looks like he's it's between him and the big fat fatty. Guys, get your votes in. We got 35% for Fatty Caldwell and 38% for Kyle McCord.
Wow, it's close.
It's 36 for Caldwell. So get your votes in, everybody. Oh, there it is. I know which way I would go, but I'm ending the poll. Let's see where it landed. It was 38-37. Oh, Caldwell edges it out. I love it. Caldwell, dude, this is an opportunity. So if you haven't taken a look at some of these guys, take the opportunity, get to know him. Jamari Caldwell, you're going to love him. All right.
6'2", 342, guys.
Woo! Look what it says. Eye-catching first step with beautiful natural leverage and a knack for disengaging from blocks and making plays on runners. He plays with an almost immeasurably wide base to thwart the efforts of double teams, and his aggressive nature to cut off reach blockers makes him effective against wide zone and downhill runs. Dude, there's nothing better you can say. Immeasurably wide, like takes up that much space, but knows how to shed the block. So it doesn't only clog it, can make the tackle as well.
Yeah, and he's and I know that it said it there, but
oh, wait a minute. Oh, we already picked it. You're right, Stud City. Shit.
What happened?
It says 37-37. We should have did a runoff. I didn't catch it. I thought it was 30. I thought it was 36. That's my bad. I would have totally did a runoff there. I'm sorry, Stud City. And extinguish the guilt. Damn it. Don't hold it against me, fellas.
Don't worry, because Kyle McCord is still on the board. We could just take him here.
That's right. We could take him again. Sodak says, you see, Hughes says Morgan Moses is likely gone. It wouldn't surprise me, man. Looks like the Aaron Glenn Jets are looking to scrub the cupboards of the old heads. I'm really curious to see what happens with CJ Mosley. But yeah,
CJ's financials are going to be different. But
yeah,
listen, just by the moves that they're making. Well, let's talk about this real quick, GreenBean, since you brought up the Moses thing. Is it that he's trying to scrub the old heads, or is it the brain trust is saying, listen, let's get young? That's
what I mean. Yeah, scrub the cupboards. There's old hanger-ons. Like, they have no loyalty to guys just because they've been here for 4 years and like whatever it might be. You know, Morgan Moses obviously was only here for a year. He was here a couple of years ago, but there is no to them, just an aging guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Makes sense. I mean, I am a little upset. I got to tell you guys, I'm a little upset that Aaron Rodgers, if that's true, that he, pleaded is the word, but that he really wanted to be here. In that case, you could say, all right, look, dude, the money is crazy. You need to rip up the contract and sign, take a pick, sign for $11 million. And if he was willing to do that, it just hurts my fucking feelings, Dom. We got through the Achilles kind of year and let him come back and really healthy. I don't know. It's just that. Yeah. That report hurt my feelings. I gotta shoot straight.
Yeah, but was ripping up the contract and him taking backup money really going to be in the cards?
Maybe.
No, it wasn't.
If he pleaded, Dom, let me tell you something. You ever plead? Have you ever pleaded?
I plead the fifth.
Yeah, there you go. There's one. I have. Imagine this: you're pleading with a girl. Let's say you're 21 years old. You've been with a girl for 2 years, and she wants to leave you because you smoke too much grass. And you plead, and she says, "You say, please, I don't want you to leave." Well, and she goes, "You can't smoke weed anymore, even though that's your second love." And when you're pleading, are you willing to agree to that? Generally speaking, my logical friend.
Yeah, I guess I hear what you're saying.
So
but,
you see what I mean?
But this guy's already given, listen, you tip your cap. He already gave what,
$35 million back.
Yeah.
So now give another 25. Well, what his cap hit this year is 20 something.
49 is the cap hit.
If he stayed on the team, it was 25, wasn't it? 26, some shit like that.
Not sure.
Anyway, not to go down that rabbit hole, but anyway, if the guy's pleading, you go, you know what? I got a Hall of Famer. He threw 3,900 yards. Yes, he was imperfect, but it is kind of a transition-y first year. Who am I going to get that's better? Look, here's the thing. You can't do McAfee, and I need you to cut your pay in half, or at least take 10 million off, or whatever the hell it is. Give you 15 million. Well, if you're pleading, that's the moment. No more weed for you.
I'm okay with the decision. I am.
No, I hear you, but that hurt my feelings that he wanted to be here. Please let me stay. And he cried. Did you hear that? He cried and they pushed him out and he was banging on the door. That's sad.
Did they have security?
They escorted him out.
Robert Saleh?
Robert Saleh fucking puffed all out. They're like, all right, get the little paisan in here. Yeah. Bearded checking in. Dom, why is Caldwell so low on draft boards? You talk about that a little bit, Dom. Why? You know what? When the draft rolls around, he might not be. But why is he considered? Like, why isn't he a third? Why isn't he a second round prospect right now?
Well, listen, I'll tell you the negatives to Caldwell is some people think that he's really just going to be a 2-down player. And that could hurt you. I mean, like it or not, that's real. He's got really, really short arms, really like T-Rex style stuff. A little bit of an older prospect. Fun fact. Do you know he was another one? You know how Jermaine Johnson did that? What was that he went to that junior college? What was it? Independence? Was that it?
Yeah. He went to junior college route.
So did Jamari Caldwell. He was at Independence Community College.
Like it.
Same one.
Put him with JJ, baby.
Yeah. He doesn't have, like I said, he's a limited athlete at 340 pounds. He's got short arms, which is a big thing in the defensive line. Like you can't have guys getting into your chest because these are like elite athletes that we're talking about. So and the fact that some people see him really only as a 2-down player, those three things are probably factoring into why people have him so low. Realistically, and I say this not in a disrespectful manner, but the majority of people didn't even know who Jamari Caldwell was. He wasn't very high on my radar until the Senior Bowl where he stood out. And then you go back and you watch him and be like, wow, this guy's pretty good. You know what I mean? So that's a lot of the reasons why he's probably so low. He's going to be 24 at the time of the draft, probably 25 in the top of the season or at some point in the season. When you get an older guy who's a limited athlete, the ceiling's just not that high, But how high of a ceiling do you need on a big fatty? That's the question I would ask, right?
Yeah.
So
all right, yeah, and I think let's take a look at the combine. Let's watch how this all shakes out. I have a feeling he might go a little bit earlier than we're seeing him projected right now. A lot of these guys, it's just like it takes a minute to get on radars. You know what I mean? As they dig in and all that shit.
Yeah.
All right, listen, I got McCord up there. Let's go back to the wide receivers.
Now, let me ask
offensive
you.
Offensive
do you want to just take McCord since it was the tie last time when we kind of fucked that over?
No.
Okay.
I want to give them the choice. They'll take him if they're going to take him.
Here's your receivers.
Anybody worth a shit?
I mean, Kobe Hudson's a nice player. Jimmy Horn's got some 9 routes and deep route possibilities. I love Brew McCoy. but again, he's an older prospect who just can't stay healthy.
Yeah.
So, say Jalen Lane out of Virginia Tech's not a bad player. No one
Let's
that
take
really
a look at the linemen, offensive. We only got one tackle. Hold on, let me see.
These are the guards.
Go back up. You skipped. Let me just take a look.
I'll make it.
Joshua Gray. No, I didn't. No, Dom. Yeah, no, you're too big now.
There we go.
There we go.
Willie Lampkin's he was a fun film watch. You know who Willie Lampkin has been?
No.
I'm gonna tell you about Willie Lampkin. 5'10", 275 pounds. Guy plays like his ass is on fire. He completely eliminated in the Senior Bowl. He completely eliminated Deion Walker at 6'7", 340 pounds.
Really?
Yeah, completely eliminated.
There's
a bunch of good tackles here that I like.
So who was that? That was
Willie Lampkin. Willie Lampkin. He's a center.
Well, he's interior. He could play guard.
Yeah.
So let's put up Willie Lampkin. I'd love to look. We got a 3rd round tackle. I'd love to get a late round lineman.
This is your guy, Carson Vincent, small school kid, but he's big, he's long. This is the kind of guy you want to take in this round. That as a pipeline guy, he's a development guy. He might not start or see the field in 2 years, but if you develop him right, he's going to have something. 6'7", 35-inch arms.
All right, show me the kickers, baby.
Kickers, really? You serious?
Yeah, hell yeah. You got to have some balls. You know what I mean? You can't wait around and hope that the undrafted free agent wants to come to you. You got to say, no, I am done dancing around the kicker thing. You do like the Bills did. You go get Tyler Bass. You do, he's the Bass, right? And then you do like the Bengals did, and you use a 5th round pick and you get the best kicker in the country. So I don't know. Borregales.
I don't know any of the kickers, so I'm going to leave that to you.
Let's put up, I know a lot of people like the guy from Florida State.
Fitzgerald?
Yeah, but I'm going to let's go with Borregales. What's his first name?
Andre.
Long, I think, is 57 yards this year, and he was tops
56 yards. You were wrong.
56. Oh, so I was a little overshot there. But that's what I want. I want some leg. But I prefer accuracy, Dom.
Listen, I'm not trying to sound funny here because I don't know who Andre Borregales is, but I'm going to assume by the name Andre Borregales,
right,
he's of Latin American descent, and those always make good kickers, right?
Yeah. Remember the brothers? Remember years ago there were the brothers, and the guy was jumping up and down, and he fucking hurt his knee after a big kick.
Yes.
What was his name? Remember that guy? All right, the taking this one down to 2 minutes, everybody. So we got Willie Lampkin, offensive guard. We got Kyle McCord, quarterback. I mean, you want to talk about value. We had this guy up for the last 3 picks. Carson Vincent, offensive tackle, and Andre Borregales, a kicker. Again, not to sway you, just my thoughts are the Jets are famous for having kicker issues. Now, we had Greg the Leg for 2 years, and it was really great. We signed him to a big extension, and he falls off a cliff because we're always dealing with cast-offs. It's time for the Jets, which, by the way, when there was the Pinheiro, Greg the Leg battle, I understood, and I had no real issue with Greg the Leg, but I was 100% on Team Eddie Pinheiro because he was 20-something years younger. I'm like, it's an even battle, and he's got, at least 10, 15 years on him or whatever. So anyway.
Who was the guy, GreenBean? I know you remember. Herm took a kicker in like the fucking 2nd round.
Yeah, that was, what the fuck was it? Mick something. Oh my God. 2nd round pick. And we didn't have a first that year. So he was our first pick, a kicker. That's what I'm saying. The Jets, fucking Terry Bradway. Like, what is that? Who did the Jets? Let me see. Jets take kicker.
Mike Nugent.
Nugent.
Thank you. Curly Norman.
Curly Norman.
Yes.
All right. Let me get some. So David Bruce is checking in, Dom. He says, good morning from Scotland. Nice. 4:38 in the morning there. Good morning to you, David. Been a Jets fan for 45 years now since I first saw them on TV. Once a Jet, always a Jet. Jets, Jets. Well, we're glad to have a guy like you, man.
At 4:30 in the morning.
doubt.
God bless.
Yeah, incredible. 45 years from Scotland. Poor fella. Well, look, at least you got us, right, David? And thanks for checking in, man. Good morning to you. And you're gonna have. Look, I'm gonna throw something stupid out. I am of Scottish descent, but I've never been. You're gonna have. Do you have haggis in the morning? Is that what you have? Haggis, David. All right, let me end the poll. Oh, he comes, dude. It was the kick. I looked before the kicker was ahead. Turn around and Kyle McCord steals the show. We're gonna grab our project quarterback. Nice and late. And look, right on the heels of that, look at E-Boogie, Dom. No quarterback this year, please. And there he comes.
Too late.
Well, like to E-Boogie and even to like Rusty Spooner. Like, we got lots of drafts. I'm sure we're going to do drafts where no quarterback happens. I'm sure we're going to do drafts where Lachey, right, from Iowa, the tight end, Rusty Love. I'm sure we're going to have more than one or two drafts where that's our guy. So don't you worry. Don't you worry, Rusty.
And we're at our last pick here, guys. And we filled out a bunch of different things. You got two big fatties on the defense line. What we don't have is an edge rusher. We did not add an edge rusher.
Let's take a look, see if there's any value there at the edge position. Did we end up getting two safeties? We didn't. We only got the one.
Yeah, we only got the one. Yeah, I mean, the edge it's pretty thin here. Baron Sorrell from Texas isn't terrible. Josheen Davis is interesting. He's very much of the mold of Will McDonald, like, probably going to be more so of a defensive pass rush specialist. So I think that a guy like that could make sense. I mean, you're talking a role player here. He's probably not going to play a lot on early downs. I don't think he's light, I believe. No, they have him here through 270. I didn't think he was that big because he can get at the passer.
Yeah.
Outside of that, there's nothing there that's too exciting. The corners, Mac McWilliams is a nice player. He went back to school.
I'm putting the kicker up there again.
Okay.
Do you like any edge rushers there?
Sorrell from Texas is interesting. But I mean, I'm not all these guys. I'm not going to go to.
Yeah, I mean, we're late. I mean, Dom, take a look at the big board real quick. Let's just see what they got floating around up there.
Tonka.
Look at that. No more defensive tackles.
Yeah.
Though.
So why don't you go ahead and put Lachey for Rusty?
Get a third tight end. Did we ever take a second?
No.
Can you click on us? I don't know if we did or not.
We did not. We only got one. We got Gunner.
All right. Is he still up there? Are you sure?
Lachey, yeah, he's here.
Yeah, what's his first name?
Luke. You don't need Tonka because we've already loaded up with the big guys. Now, I'll make an argument here. Taj Brooks is a really good running back. In the 7th round here, this is ridiculous value.
He's no Carson Steele, buddy.
Listen, he's my 13th guy off the board. He's a power back. I mean, almost 1,600 yards and double-digit touchdowns for 2 consecutive seasons. If you're talking value, I think you put him here. I don't know why they have Tyreek Hamilton here. I have no idea why he's still on the board, but I would just ignore that. I'd put Taj Brooks.
Did we end up taking Taj Brooks?
Ooh, LaQuint Allen. If you guys don't know LaQuint Allen,
I don't want to run him back, but I'll throw a running back up there. LaQuint.
Yeah, he is so good, GreenBean. He is shifty. He's a guy that can really help in the pass game. He's ridiculously good in pass pro. He's a guy. He's one of those running backs that, as the season went on and as we're into the offseason, has gone straight up my board. Jackson Hawes is still here, but we already put you already
we
put
got
Rich down.
we got Lachey. So all right, the we got it. All right, wide receiver is thin.
How many you got up there?
I got 3. I got LaQuint Allen, running back, Luke Lachey, tight end, and Borregales, the kicker.
Leave it at 3. Call it a day.
All right, we're gonna do that. Final pick.
Yeah, I see Jaro in here. I said Hawes before. I argued for Hawes earlier. You guys in the chat shot it down.
That's all right. It's
Yeah.
fine.
And
I
Stud
think that-
City, we didn't take a cornerback, but you know what? Like I said earlier, you're not going to be able to take every position. You have limited amount of picks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Right. And the thing is too, it's like, you know, like it's like what we did is pretty smart too. Like we got 2 defensive tackles. You know what I mean? Like that's a real need on this team. We saw it the last few years, especially last year. Teams were gashing us. Like you need it. So taking a couple swings at that would, you know, thinking, just assuming one of them at least is going to be more than developmental. Like they're going to take a minute. Maybe they get in, you know, they're playing some specials and they take a while to get in there. It's important to be able to kind of have that pipeline and everything rather than just kind of taking one of every single position. You know, like sometimes it's smart to take a couple swings at a position that you're really hoping to fill this year.
Jaro is asking about Borregales. No one knows other than GreenBean, Jaro.
I still have to look. I mean, you know, again, like he's one of the top kickers. I might end up changing that. Like, remember when Cameron Dicker, super kicker, was our guy? We took him like every draft just because it rhymed, you know, but he ends up being a really solid kicker. But there are, you know, like you want to look at a guy that had a lot of opportunities, right? And that is high percentage accuracy and has a leg. So, you know, or, you know, the other thing is too, they're making their kicks from 30 to 50, but they're missing extra, you know, they got 4 extra points missed. You don't want that fucking guy because he's missing chip shots. Right. So it's just like, you just want to, you know, look, high percentage with at least, you know, a better than average leg. You want to be able to hit 55 yarders. You really don't. It's great to have a 60 yard, 60, you know, whatever, but really it doesn't come up all that often that's the priority. This Jets, like, you know, Boyer and Solid, like they really focused on that leg strength thing, which honestly is less important to me. Most of your field goals are going to be from the 25 to 45 range. That's most of your kicks. And you got to hit those. And sadly, over the years, we have, you know, just, you know, we have misaligned fucking values and goals, man. So I'm really, I love a good leg, but I'm really more about accuracy. So that's kind of what I look at. I just know Borregales is a good kicker, a very good kicker, but I can't tell you he's the best just yet. Jaro.
Are we killing the timer? Did you even set it?
Oh, I forgot it. So I'll give it like 10 more seconds. Get your votes in, guys. I forgot to hit the timers. My bad.
Franklin Fung.
It's close, dude. Borregales and Lachey are really neck and neck here. 44 to 41. I know where Rusty voted, even though he wants a kicker. He's going to try to get his guy. No doubt about it. All right. I'm going to end it 3, 2, 1. And it's so close. It's crazy. I'm ending the poll. Oh, it just went the other way anyway. All right. So Borregales is our guy. We got a kicker, everybody. And don't worry, Rusty. He's going to be our priority free agent. Unless we re-sign Yeboah, of course, which I'm already processing that we're not going to. I'm already working on it.
See, NJ, New York Jets fan 4 knows.
Here
football.
goes Luke Lachey. He went to the Cardinals. Wait. What do you say?
We got a ball knower right here, man.
He knows
Quint
ball.
Allen is the man. He's backing up what I said, so he knows ball.
And the kick is good from Bradigan. There it is. I love Chris Bradigan. There he is.
He's the best.
So, all right. So we're going to take a look when the draft wraps up. We have no 7th, so we'll give it a second. We are going to do 2 things. Number 1, we're going to take a look at it. There it is. And we're going to get our rating. So what we want from you guys is we want you guys to take a look at the draft. Remember everything that we did. Again, we also accrued a 2nd and 3rd next year. Not bad. And then what we're going to do, guys, after this, we're going to take all 3 drafts from tonight and we're going to make a couple posts about it. And then you can vote and see which one we think is the best. This is the one that you guys had, the input in. The one previously is Dom and Ryan, and the one before that is Ryan and Tigo. So very, very interesting. So, all right, here we go. Dom, why don't you take us through what we did tonight?
Obviously the big move was the trade down from 7 all the way to 22, which netted us 2 seconds and 2 thirds, one in this year, one in next year. So great value there. 22, wide receiver Emeka Buka off the board. We followed that up with safety Xavier Watts from Notre Dame and Alfred Collins, the big fatty number 1 from University of Texas.
Big fatty one.
Another at 3rd round, we got another Texas Longhorn teammate of Collins and Gunnar Helm at tight end. Ozzie Trapillo, the right tackle from Boston College at 92. Demetrius Knight, there's your linebacker at 146. Big fatty number 2 and Jamari Caldwell, which Jamari Caldwell was taken in all 3 drafts. Interesting, huh?
I love it. Amazing. Amazing.
Kyle McCord might have been as well. I'm not sure about the first draft, but Kyle McCord went at 188, and we ended the draft. Our Mr. Irrelevant in this draft, not the Mr. Irrelevant, but the Jets Mr. Irrelevant, the Green Bean Special, Andreas Borgalas.
Yeah, there you go. All right, guys. So get your letter grades in there. We're talking about A to F, of course. Youthphoria checks in first, Dom, with a B+. Once we go through the chat, I'd love to hear your grade, and I'll throw a grade out there as well. So Youthphoria gives us a B+. Zachary Berner comes in with a B+ as well. Where is this? Donkersloot checking in with a fat B. Isaac gives it an A. Curly Norman coming in. Don't forget, we got major ammo for a trade up next year for Fred. That's absolutely right. A 2nd and a 3rd is some juicy fruit to play around next year. B+ from Curly. Pete DeTraglia checking in with a B. Franklin Fung with a B as well. Jake likes it, gives it an A. Extinguish the Guilt. B+. That's actually a great name, dude. That's, I'm fucking working on it. Mark from Asbury Park, my buddy, checking in with a nice A. Craig Smith gives it an A-. Rusty Spooner says it's a B, almost a B+. Would have traded a little more and not taken McCord, but all good. There's going to be plenty more drafts, and I'm sure people will losing their minds like ever. The deal. Rusty's been here since draft 1, I believe, man. So he knows the score. So yeah, man, I know I wouldn't have taken McCord either. So yeah, there's a little bit of that kind of stuff, but I think the value's there though. We had a little extra capital. Ain't nothing wrong with taking a swing. But I'm with you. Jets Mess coming in with a C. E-Boogie says B, the quarterback is a bum. Jaro, B+. We got picks for next year also. Right. You can't forget to factor that in. It's a whole work. It's not just the brakes. There's an engine, there's tires, there's a hood, all that shit. So the next year's picks are part of this whole thing. Sean, the Jets fan with a B. Bearded VT are checking in. B for diversity would have been a D without Jamari Caldwell. Gotta love it. Kent Freeman, A-, but Ibuka ain't going that late. 22, I think, is right where he's going to go.
Listen, I could see him going a couple spots earlier. I could see him going a couple spots later.
Yeah, I think he's right in the pocket. It may, like you said, maybe if it's a few picks earlier, but I don't think it's egregious. By any means. Zachary Bird. Well, we had 2/3, Zach. We got we had 2/3. He's taking it for 26. Right. That's what you said, not 20. I'm sorry. So yeah, so we just gained it back, which is nice. Bearded V tier would have been an A with Jihad Campbell. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris Bradigan says, for the first one this year, this is fantastic. Extremely hard to mock before free agency. Very solid A. Good point. Like everything changes after free agency. Everything changes after the combine too.
I'll never forget the Trey McBride year where
remember that
Trey McBride second round, blah, blah, blah. And then we signed
Uzoma and Conklin,
and we never heard of Trey McBride again.
Yeah, we signed Uzoma and Conklin. And it was like, well, Trey McBride's off the table. So thanks, Chris. A nice A from Bradigan. B+ from New York Jets fan 4. The show was an A+, no matter the draft. Oh, that's nice. Isaac says this was the best draft out of the 3 tonight.
What?
That's
Isaac, bite your tongue.
No, hey man.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, it's good. They had input, so they like that. B+ from Youthforia, even though the extra picks. Oh, right. Yeah. Let's see here. We got a B from Sean, the Jets fan. Omatic with a C+. Youthforia says borderline A. Jaro reminding everybody, let's not forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And follow me on Twitter as well. So Dom, I'd like to hear your draft grade, letter grade, if you'd be so kind.
So I'll break it down like this. I think Emeka Egbuka is phenomenal. I really like that the idea of him being on my team. I think the value for him there for my board is good.
Yeah, Egbuka plus 2 seconds and 2/3. Are you kidding?
Yeah, I really like Ozzy Trapillo. I think that he can, even though he's a 3rd round pick here, I think he can push for a starting job in the real NFL. So I love that. I think Gunnar Helm has a lot of potential, a lot of upside, even if it's not fully developed and recognized year 1. I think that's a good, solid foundation piece for the AG and Muji era. And you got 2 fatties. So all in all, I'd probably say a B-. I wasn't the Watts over Campbell is a travesty in my opinion. And then
do you like the player?
Yeah,
like the player coming on board with right, that scenario, fine.
Yes,
but you like bringing him on after Egbuka?
Yeah, sure. Okay. I mean, it's a little like he's 42 is higher than where I have him on my board. He's probably around 60, but it's in the ballpark. So if you took Watts out and you took Borregales out, I'd probably say this is a solid B+, but I'm going to say B with the picks. B- overall, but the added picks next year brings it to a B.
Well done. I like your process. I'm going to tell you guys the value that we got. Like, look, sliding back from 7 to 22, not an agreed. It's like it's not an unrealistic batch of capital that you're going to require to do that. You're a top 10 pick, going back into the 20s. So getting, a 2nd and 3rd this year, it might be like, if you look into realistic terms, maybe it's a 2nd and a 4th or whatever. But I think it wasn't an unrealistic trade, which I hate when you do I slide back a little bit and you get 6 picks. Like, I don't like that shit. You know what I mean? But this one, to my eyes, seemed pretty good as far as realistic terms. So the value there, and then coming up with Egbuka is fantastic to me. I really I want to come away with an impact wide receiver this year. So that's big. I love Xavier Watts. And then we start getting into the fatties, Alfred Collins. I think our top 4 picks, really our top 5 picks have a real legitimate chance of contributing this year. And that to me is important. We add Dimitri, with Ozzy Trapillo. I love it. I think I prefer he didn't start right away, but I love the player, and if he needs to, I think one new piece on the offensive line, not the worst scenario in the world. Demetrius Knight, I really love. I'd love to see him not have to start 1 year, but again, love the player. Jamari Caldwell, again, dude, I love him. Kyle McCord wouldn't have taken him, but I get it. And Borregales, I really want to see a damn regime that does what the good teams do. Fucking get a dude. You know how important kicker is, and we always we'll take it in. We'll get it now. Like commit. So I like that idea. And again, the second and third next year, I'm gonna give this draft a solid B+. A solid B+ for me. Again, McCord, I'm with you, especially upon just second thoughts and everything. I probably would be happier if we came away with Jihad Campbell, and then we could. Maybe even Campbell and Demetrius Knight would have been nice, but then we could have figured something out later. But it is important that we got a safety. But Campbell over Watts and no Kyle McCord would have been a better draft for me. But B+, dude, all day, every day. Do me a favor, Dom. Don't save this image so we can make the comparison graphic out of it. But yeah, dude, I hope you guys are happy. Over this was a fun one. And we're just getting started, man. Like we can have drafts where we're, where we're going for a quarterback. But dude, don't forget, we can still theoretically trade Aaron Rodgers. Maybe that's an option that we do. What would we get? If the Steelers really want him or the Raiders want him or whatever, who knows? He says, I'm willing to rework my deal if I get traded over there. So we can entertain all sorts of fun shit. Again, this is the place where we are focused on learning and seeing what these scenarios present for us, which is why it's so gosh darn fun. Rusty, you're awesome. Dom C, yeah, man, you're awesome too, Rusty. I mean, dude, I just so enjoy. You know how many players Rusty Spooner's turned me on to over the years, and I've dug in and loved. Just so many guys over the years. But yeah, I love that you're here. Andrew Zonka saying, hey, when's the 12 o'clock mock? It's going to start now. So yeah, that'd be good. All right, Dom, let's get this off. So just do me a favor. Send me that image.
I already emailed it to you.
God, thank you. So we'll make a graphic. And then tomorrow, guys, we'll be able to vote on which of the 3 drafts. And don't forget, every Monday, it starts at 8 p.m. over on Jets Talk 24/7. Ryan and Tigo. Then they'll move to Talking Jets Network, Ryan and Dom. And then Dom's going to hop over here every 10 o'clock for the 10 o'clock mock. I want to remind you guys about the amazing offer from Chubby's, guys. Just the best damn stuff. Stretchy shorts, best swim trunks you're ever going to. I can't even wear swim trunks because of the chafe. I'm abnormally large. So it's really problematic, everybody. So their solution is just the best. And the Friday shirts, dude, they're the best. They're the best, most comfortable shirts that I wear them to lunch. I wear them out when we go apple picking, all that kind of shit in the spring and summer. So 20% off using the promo code GreenJetsFan, everybody. Don't forget about that. It's a great offer. The link is right in the top of the description. And don't forget about arguably the most important thing. Dom C's channel and Twitter links are at the top. Right under the Chubby's link is the Dom C information. Guys, give him a follow. If you're not following him on Twitter, at least you're doing yourself a disservice. The Dom's, he's active on Twitter, and his Project Prospect with Dom C channel on YouTube as well. Show Dom some love, man. If anybody deserves it, it's that fella right there. Dom, you got anything specific you want us to know about before we leave?
No, I think you hit everything on the head. I mean, it's go time. There's a lot more content going on my channel. I just did a full 2-round mock that I posted, I think Sunday morning. I had a real nice podcast that also went live today where I talked to another draft analyst, and we talked about the guys that are, some guys to look out for, some make it or break it kind of guys for the combine who can either make some money or lose some money. So
nice. And that's on Project Prospect with Dom C?
Correct, sir.
All right, there it is. Again, guys, the link is right in the description. Just click it and give a sub, man. Show some love. Jake Asman checking in the early morning hours here at 12:11 a.m. Says there are 3 constants out there: death, taxes, and Dom C.
Yeah, I'm
agree.
a busy man on Mondays, man. I got 3 or 4 different regular spots on Monday, so you'll see a lot of me during the next.
And like, it's just, guys, if you're into the draft, if you're into prospects, trying to figure out and learn, there's no one better than Dom C. All right, especially when you refine it down to the Jets centric. He's more than that significantly, but especially when you're doing Jets, when you're talking about Jets, Dom C's the guy, man. If you're not following, you're doing yourself a disservice. With that all said, everybody, smash that like button. Don't forget to subscribe right here to GreenBean Jetsfan. And with that all being now finalized, Dom, we will see you. Where is the damn thing? I suck. My timing is way off. I can't find it. Oh, it's because it's not called 10. It's called Monday Night Mock, not 10. That's why. With that all said, have a great night. We'll see you next time, everybody.
1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock. 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8.
Johnny Lamb Jones. Wide receiver. As a season ticket holder of the Jets, I'm going to fool Ken O'Brien of California Davis.
Obviously, the Jets know something that, the people up there don't.
Fullback. Roger Vick. Jeff Lageman.
Jets just don't understand the draft all about.
Blair Thomas, running back, Penn State. Johnny Mitchell. The New York Jets select tight end from Penn State, Kyle Brady. Vernon Golson.
Cleveland traded the 5th pick to the New York Jets. And with the 5th pick in the 2009 NFL Draft, New York Jets select Mark Sanchez.
D. Milner. Dino Smith. Jets select quarterback Christian Hackenberg.
Sam Darnold. The New York Jets